Greetings, welcome, and thank you for clicking. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, supporting your journey with healing experiences, coaching, and encouragement for life's changes, challenges, and transitions. Thanks for joining me for this episode of Ask the Stones, offering spiritual guidance and encouragement for life's challenging questions. Greetings, welcome, and thanks for joining me for this episode of Ask the Stones. I'm so honored to have you join me and appreciate you listening. This episode's question comes from Sarah. Hello, can you please answer this question for me? I just got certified for Reiki Level 2 and want to become a master so I can open a business. How do I start my own Reiki business? Well, Sarah, first of all, I want to say congratulations to you on your Level 2 attunement. That is wonderful and exciting, so congratulations on that. I also want to say, Sarah, that actually you do not need to wait until you are a master to open a Reiki business. I'm going to give a little background for those who are unfamiliar with Reiki and the different levels, so that we get a better understanding of how this works and why Sarah doesn't need to wait. So first, there is Reiki Level 1. And during the attunement for Reiki Level 1, you are able to practice self-Reiki. Then there is Reiki Level 2, where Sarah is. And this is the level that you are attuned at to be able to offer Reiki to others, both in person and distant Reiki. And then Reiki level 3 is the master level. And at this level, you are attuned to the master symbols, and you are able to teach if you so choose. Now, this is the way that I was taught. As we know, for those of us who are Reiki practitioners or who are in the world of Reiki, there are disagreements about the Reiki levels and what you can do at each level and what each level means. So, Sarah, I'm coming at it from what I learned from my teachers. And what I learned from my teachers is that you are now at the level where you can offer Reiki to others. And so what that means is that you don't have to wait to open a business. I also want to say that I'm assuming that you want to send Reiki to people, but this may not be the case. You know, you can specialize in animals or space, doing space clearing and Reiki for spaces, homes and offices and things like that. So I'm making the assumption here, Sarah, that you are interested in sending Reiki and being a practitioner for people and having human clients. But, you know, that may not necessarily be the case. So, Sarah, you technically do not need to wait to be a master, nor do you actually even need to be a master. Now, if you are interested in earning a master level certification and being attuned to the master level as part of your Reiki journey, that's wonderful. I definitely encourage you to do that. But Sarah, I don't want you to feel obligated or to feel pressure to get that level 3 certification. And I don't want you to feel like you have to. So what I'm saying is that if you are only looking at the master level as a way for you to be able to open up a business, then you don't need it. And you can open up a business now at level 2. And so if you were only looking at getting the master level attunements for that reason, then I actually might encourage you to reconsider that, and to just make sure that that's something that really is what you want and that resonates with you. Sarah, your Reiki journey is your own. And that's very individual to all of us. So whether or not to get attuned at certain levels and when to do that and how to do that, what teacher to do that with, to do that in person or to do that distance, that's all very individual. And all of those things are okay and a part of your own individual Reiki journey. So I do want to encourage you to consider whether or not you really do want the master level attunements for yourself, and encourage you not to do that out of obligation or a sense that you have to, or pressure, or even, Sarah, that you won't have a good business if you're not certified at the master level, which of course is not true either. Or, the thought that, oh, your Reiki won't be as good. Nope. Don't even worry about that. Because your Reiki journey is your own, you are free to do whatever it is you wish to do with your attunements after you receive them. Whether that means opening up a business or that means doing nothing. There are plenty of people who are attuned to Reiki who don't use it, or who maybe only use it in certain instances for certain reasons. That's all okay. There is nothing wrong with that. And you may even decide that you might want to be attuned at the master level years down the road, and that's okay too. So, Sarah, your Reiki journey is your own. It's no one else's, and I want to encourage you to experience it in the way that feels right and authentic to you. So, you don't need master level to open up a Reiki business, and of course you can get it if you want it. So, thank you, Sarah. I want to say a few more things about this idea of starting a business. I also want to say, Sarah, I do want to address this because there's a lot of controversy in the Reiki community about this. And there's actually going to be controversy about any kind of healing modality with this idea of being paid for your services. There are a lot of people who say, oh, Reiki should be free. You shouldn't charge for Reiki. That's wrong to do that. And the same thing may exist with other energy work. You shouldn't have to pay for that. These are healing gifts that should be free. Well, here's my question to that. Doctors are healers, right? Do you ever go to the doctor's office and expect to get an appointment for free? Do you ever say to the doctor, hey doc, thanks for meeting with me. I appreciate this script, this prescription. I appreciate you meeting with me. And why are you charging for this? This is a gift that you have that you should be offering to the world for free. No one ever says that, and no one would ever expect that. We all respect the doctor's expertise and knowledge, their years of medical school, all of the training that they've gone through, all of their sleepless nights. We respect that. And no one ever thinks that a doctor should be offering their healing services for free. So I actually disagree with the idea that Reiki should be free and that no one should charge for Reiki. Sarah, at the very least, there is a very good chance that you have paid for your attunements, where you pay someone, a master teacher, to attune you, to train you, to teach you. And, no one ever says to the master teacher, you should be offering these attunements for free. Now, I will say if a master teacher wants to do that, that is their choice. No judgment with that whatsoever. And if any of you, Sarah, anyone else listening want to offer Reiki for free, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. There's no judgment. But I also want to encourage no judgment the other way as well. Because here we are valuing the doctor's time, the doctor's expertise and energy, but we're going to devalue the Reiki practitioner's time and energy and training and experience that they've gone through to be attuned. So I think that it's important for us to really consider why, if we have the belief that Reiki should be free and no one should ever charge for Reiki, why we have that belief. I think that that kind of belief, it's important when we have that kind of belief to consider the root of it and what that's all about and why we feel that way. And again, no judgment if you do feel that way. And I would encourage you to have no judgment the other way as well. Remember, it's your own Reiki journey. And so it is the way in which you want to use the Reiki and the ways in which you want to walk that path that are important to you and to no one else. I think that Reiki can really help us to release judgment. And so I definitely encourage working to release judgment regarding pay for Reiki. So, Sarah, I'm saying that, of course, I agree with you. I am assuming that you do not have any blocks about that because you are asking this question. But I am going to recommend just considering that, and I want to acknowledge that controversy because there really is a real controversy about it, which I think does devalue the training, the effort, the even money that you most likely have paid for your attunements. So I think that it's important for us to consider that. And, also to value your time and energy. Now, of course, the Reiki is not coming from you, it's coming through you, but you are still serving as the conduit. You are still serving as the sender of the Reiki. And so your time is valuable. And to also consider the value of it too. No one would go into the doctor's office and meet with the doctor for 20 minutes and you get a $200 bill, right? And no one would say to the doctor, hey doc, you met with me for 20 minutes, you wrote me the prescription, how are you charging $200 for this? We just met for 20 minutes. Well, yes, and you are also paying for all of the doctor's knowledge, all of their expertise, their years of training, their ability to write that script. You're paying for the whole structure of the doctor's work, and not just the training and their time, but also the practice, where the doctor can have the meetings with you, the office, the appointments. So there's a whole apparatus around it. And it's important for us to remember that we're not just paying for 20 minutes of time, that we are paying for that whole apparatus, including the years and years and years of experience of the doctor. Of course, the doctor, in all of their experience, could meet with you for 20 minutes, diagnose the problem, write you the prescription, and there you go, done, because of all of their knowledge and experience. So it's really important, I think, for us to consider that when we think about a Reiki business. So, Sarah, having said all of that, how do you start your business? Well, Sarah, start with the heart. This is my biggest recommendation for you in starting your Reiki business. First of all, you do not have to wait. Second of all, start with the heart. And this is actually how I might encourage all of us to start anything new and to consider anything new that we might do or bring into the world, is to consider it from a very heart-centered place. And Sarah, I want to encourage you to think about who you want to be as a Reiki practitioner, as a business owner, the kind of service that you want to offer, the way in which you want to show up in this experience is going to be very important for you to explore and to think about. Because when you really get down to the heart of the matter, it's going to help you to bring your best self to your business. It's going to help you to bring love and kindness and compassion, honor and respect and gratitude. And those are all wonderful, amazing things to be bringing. So I really want to encourage you, Sarah, to think of the ways in which you can be of service. You know, I had said that your Reiki journey is all about you. First and foremost, it is about you. Yes, this is true. And when you have a business, yes, your Reiki journey is still always about you. And I want to encourage you to think about the ways in which you are and can be of service to others. So to be looking at your business as a service and the ways in which you can serve people and the ways in which you can honor and thank and praise them and to praise their beautiful souls. So Sarah, I really want to encourage you to do some real soul searching before you do anything. So before you start the logistics, the nuts and bolts of the business and creating that business, I really want to encourage you to take some time to think, to pause, to reflect, and to dive deeply into your own soul experience of this business. That may look to you in all kinds of ways. You may want to sit down and journal. You may want to draw. However it is for you that means to do some examination of your heart. That's going to be important. So to just do some real soul searching on this. And when you do that soul searching, I want to encourage you not just to consider who you want to be and how you want to show up for the world, the service that you want to bring to the world, but also to think about that in terms of the special gifts that you bring and the way in which you want to present them to the world. So remember, your Reiki journey is your own. How do you want to express that Reiki journey in the world? For instance, for me, I specialize in distant Reiki. And of course, I can and have done in-person Reiki, but I really focus in and specialize on distant Reiki. And at this point, that is really the focus of my Reiki practice. It hasn't always been, and it very well may not always be. So remember, it's a journey, and it can change. It can look different ways. And so I encourage you to be open and flexible and ready for any changes that Reiki might present to you in your practice. And I encourage you to consider how you want to be offering Reiki to others. whether that is people or animals or plants or spaces, whatever it might be. I also use Reiki specifically I specialize in life changes and transitions. And I specialize in that because when I did my reflecting on my life and the trajectory of my life, the things that I have done and the jobs that I've had, the common theme, the common thread, one common thread in that was this idea of change and transition, whether it was helping friends through their changes, whether it was my own life changes, or in my work, realizing that, oh my gosh, I've really done a lot of work on life change in my life. And so saying, this is what I feel called to continue to do with my Reiki. So I specialize in using distant Reiki for life changes and transitions. And that's the way that I show up and offer my service. And I encourage you to think, Sarah, about the ways in which you might see yourself expressing that. I also want to say here, Sarah, that oftentimes when we jump into a new business, a new venture, anything like that, oftentimes we can have some hesitancy. Well, really, we can always have some hesitancy, right? Because it's something new. But one of the things that we're really hesitant about is this idea of, what do I have to offer? There are so many other Reiki practitioners out there. There are so many spiritual teachers out there, people offering their services, energy healers, and all of the like. What do I have to offer? Why would someone want my services, my Reiki? They could go get it from someone else. And who am I to offer these services? And I do want to say, Sarah, and everyone listening, that you do have special gifts to offer. You do have your own unique perspective. You do have your own gifts and ways of being in the world. And so, yes, there are plenty of Reiki practitioners out there. But you know what? The doctor doesn't say, there are plenty of doctors. Why be a doctor? There are just so many doctors. The market's already so saturated. Why bother being a doctor? I doubt you hear that a whole lot. Well, maybe you do. But I know that is oftentimes something that people will think before they start a Reiki or energy or other spiritual kind of business. And I want to encourage you to go ahead and be that person who starts their Reiki business. Because yes, the world does need you. Because why doesn't it? And Sarah, you may even jump in and decide at a later time, I'm really not so into this anymore. And that's okay too. It's all part of your Reiki journey. It's all part of your spiritual journey. It's all part of your experience. So I really want to encourage you to be open to the things that might happen, the changes, the challenges and transitions that you might experience. And know that those are all okay, and those are part of the experience. There is a lot to say on this, of course. One thing I also want to say, Sarah, is that there are so many resources out there for starting a business. I also want to recommend that you check those out, because I can talk about the business aspect and setting up the business and, doing this and doing that and XYZ, the process and the procedure. I can talk about all of that, sure. But I don't specialize in that, and there are people who do. And so I'm going to encourage you to find those resources, to check those resources out, because there are people more knowledgeable than I on those topics. And there are people who have been actively putting out that information. So it's there and available to you. I actually would like to recommend to you Andrea Kennedy of Mainstream Reiki. And Andrea Kennedy, her YouTube channel is Mainstream Reiki. I highly recommend it. She has great videos, and she has great videos specifically on business stuff. So she also offers business counseling, and so that's something that you may want to consider. But Andrea is great for that, lots of great knowledge, so I do recommend checking her out. And even for those of you who are not interested in your own Reiki business, Andrea is still a great resource, so I recommend her to anyone who is a Reiki practitioner or interested in Reiki. And of course, there are plenty of others out there. There's plenty of information. I just trust Andrea's information. She has good information and know her work, so I do recommend it. So seek those resources out, Sarah, because there are plenty of them. But my encouragement for you is this idea of really delving into your heart. And looking into your heart and looking at this business as one of service and how you can serve others and how you can bring more light and love into the world. You know, really, that's what's at the center of it. Let's be real, Sarah and everyone, when it comes to spiritual businesses, when it comes to a Reiki business or an acupuncture business or any kind of spiritual business, a sound healing business, a card reading business. It's really all about bringing love and light into the world. And I encourage you, Sarah, to lead with that. Because when you don't, people know. People can tell. And so when you lead with love, when you lead from a place of service and wanting to bring light into the world and wanting to serve people, that's going to have an impact on your business itself. You know, people are perceptive and people will pick up on things. And so I just encourage you to be authentic, be loving, and encourage you to really look at this experience of your business as an honor, because it is. Any time that we can reach out to people, that we can meet them where they are, that we can assist them through their challenges, that we can offer hope to people. This is a true privilege and a true honor, Sarah. And when you really think about it, when you really get down to it, it really is moving to think that you, with your business, have the power to reach people when they are experiencing challenges, when they need some Reiki healing, when they are looking for support. This is a beautiful, amazing thing, Sarah. And for me, it is such a great, great honor. And so I really want to encourage you to consider that. Now, of course, no one can force you, Sarah, to find meaning in that. And it's really the meaning that you find in it is up to you. But I know for me, it is just such an amazing honor and such just a blessing. And I don't ever take it for granted. And so, Sarah, the way in which you think about your business and the way that you approach it is your own. But if you start with the heart and you just go with that and keep going with the heart, start with the heart and don't stop, keep going with the heart. To me, for my business, that's the way to go. And that's what it's all about. So Sarah, thank you so much for this question. This is a wonderful question. I am honored that you have asked this question. And yes, there is so much to say about the logistics of it. But most importantly, Sarah, you're ready to go. And you might be thinking, Christian, I am not ready to go. What are you talking about? Yeah, when it comes to your Reiki, you... Sorry, I'm just laughing so hard. I'll tell you in a minute why, Sarah. When you... I lost my train of thought there. I apologize. Go with your heart, Sarah. That's what it's all about. Oh, yes, you are able to start your experience, your business right now. And that is all okay. So, I laughed, Sarah, because I was shuffling the Archangel deck. And I just started shuffling and out popped, flew right out, the teaching and learning card. And so I really had to laugh. And I really had to really laugh, Sarah, because full disclosure, I already recorded this episode. I already answered your question. But for whatever reason, the mic did not work. I have no idea why. It always works. I went to create the video to upload to YouTube, and no sound. It was actually quite shocking because I use this mic all of the time and it was never an issue. Well, wouldn't you know, when I pulled the card for you in that first discussion. Now, when I answer these questions, I don't write notes. I don't know really actually what I'm going to say, what's going to come out. And so after I recorded it and I realized I lost it all, I was like, oh my gosh, what did I say? So, okay, all of that to say, that first card that I pulled for you, Sarah, was this exact card. It also popped right out. And so angels, you know what's so funny is that when I sat down to record this second recording, I said, wouldn't that be something? Angels, that was just the perfect card to come out in that first episode, that first recording. Angels, I would love to get that card again. That was just like the perfect card. And here it is. Wonderful. Such magic. I love it. Thank you, angels. So, teaching and learning. Again, Archangel Zadkiel says, keep an open mind and learn new ideas. Then teach these ideas to others. So, Sarah, you are being encouraged to learn. And I think that what is really important is that the best teachers are first and foremost learners. And the best teachers, first and foremost, know that learning is the key to teaching. And so, Sarah, I'm going to encourage you to teach after you've done some learning. Now, what this may mean is that, what I'm getting from this is that it may be a good idea for you to do lots of learning about opening your own Reiki business. And then you may very well feel called, Sarah, to teach others how to do that and to share with others the knowledge of starting your own business and how to do that. So this card is called Teaching and Learning. I'm going to recommend learning and teaching, but remembering that the learning never stops, so that even as you teach, you are still learning. So continuing to learn and continuing to teach is what I am going to recommend for you from this card. And that's what I'm picking up from this card. I may have picked up other things from this card previously, but I'm not so sure that I can recall them at this time. Wonderful. I also, Sarah, want to send you Reiki for your Reiki business. And I also want to send Reiki to any of you, all of you, who are interested in new endeavors. Because when we start any new endeavor, I think it's very important for us to start from the heart and to start from a place of being of service, a place of bringing love and light into the world. And so I would love to send Reiki to you all at this time. And again, as always, if you do not want the Reiki sent to you, don't worry, it won't go to you. But I do recommend, encourage you, ask you, invite you to take a few deep cleansing breaths. Thank you. Now, Sarah, I do want to also disclose that, of course, in my first recording, I did send Reiki to you. And in that recording, that initial recording, I did see immediately when I sent Reiki a baby blanket, I saw baby shoes, a pink baby blanket, and a rattle. And the message here was clear about nurturing this business as you would a baby. So giving this love and attention, treating this well, feeding it, loving it, caring for it. And I really want to encourage all of us to do that with our babies, our creative babies that we bring into the world, nurturing them, loving them, caring for them, feeding them, and, rocking them, and just loving them as you would a baby, and looking upon these creative endeavors as these beautiful babies. And when I sent Reiki this time, Sarah, I saw an apple tree. And what that really speaks to me about the message that I'm getting from it is bringing these ideas to fruition. And the creative impulse and the fruit on the tree. This tree that you are planting right now is going to bear some fruit. And it may very well bear lots of fruit, but it's going to take nurturing, just like that baby. It's going to take watering. It's going to take care. It's going to take some pruning too at times. So know, Sarah, that this experience that you are considering bringing into the world is very much like an apple tree. And it will bear fruit, and it will bear lots of fruit, just like any creative idea does. You don't know how this might unfold. You don't know what direction this idea might take. You don't know where the journey might lead you. And I do want to encourage you to consider caring for that apple tree. So maybe picturing your business as a baby and an apple tree. But it's really very interesting to think about, to envision creativity as an apple tree. I love that image. Thank you, angels and guides, for that lovely image. And thank you, Sarah, for this lovely question. This is such a nice question to get. This is actually the first question I've gotten asking about businessy things. And yes, I can say lots about businessy things, but the most important thing here, Sarah, is to bring your heart into it. And only you can say what that means for you. And so I encourage you to always, when you're not sure what direction to go, ask your heart and lead with your heart. Start with the heart, end with the heart. And I encourage all of us to do that in all of our creative experiences, our spiritual experiences, any and all of our experiences. And I want to say thank you for joining me in this experience. It is a true honor and pleasure. So thank you all so very much. You know, Sarah, in the first time I answered your question, I did not choke up. So I got emotional with this one, but really just am very touched thinking about what an honor it is to come to you in all of the ways that I am honored to. So thank you, Sarah, and thank you all. It truly is a pleasure. I send you blessings and best wishes. Again, I am Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, encouraging your journey with Reiki, card reading, and coaching for life's changes, challenges, and transitions. Blessings and best wishes for your journey. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ask the Stones. If you have a question for Ask the Stones, please send me an email at christian@standingstoneshealing.com or connect with me on Facebook at Standing Stones Healing. Thank you, and best wishes for your journey.